Arthur Curry is a man who never quite fits in. Half human, half Atlantean, he's the kind of guy who grew up barefoot on a rocky lighthouse shore and could also have been king of an underwater empire if he'd wanted. The movie opens by showing where he comes from, a secret love between Atlanta, an exiled Atlantean queen, and Thomas Curry, a humble lighthouse keeper. That impossible romance creates Arthur, and then the film spends the next 2 hours explaining why being born between worlds is both a gift and a massive headache. As a kid, Arthur shows the signs of someone with oceans in his blood. He breathes underwater, he's strong, and he wants to belong. Atlanta, fearing for her son and her people, returns to Atlantis and is forced to make choices that break her heart and shape Arthur's life. She leaves him with Thomas to raise on land, where Arthur grows into a reluctant hero who'd rather pull people out of shipwrecks than sit on a throne. He wakes up every morning knowing he's different, and the film does a good job making you feel that tension. He's got the moral center of a small-town sheriff and the destiny of a demigod. Into Arthur's life comes Mera, a no-nonsense warrior princess sent from the underwater realm of Zebel. She has an agenda: find Arthur and either drag him back to Atlantis or remove him as a threat, depending on what her superiors want. But Mera isn't a dame in distress. She's spiky, decisive, and tired of being underestimated. She confronts Arthur in a seaside bar, and their chemistry, snark, flirtation, and a fair bit of physicality, is one of the movie's funnier and warmer through lines. Mera's not just love interest material, she's a partner, a guide, and the closest thing Arthur has to a conscience about his responsibilities. The main antagonist is Orm, Arthur's half-brother who's taken the throne and rebranded himself as Ocean Master. Orm is a classic zealot king. Convinced the surface world is a threat, he wants to unite the underwater kingdoms and declare war. His goal is to become ruler of the seas by rallying the various underwater factions, and then, whether by intimidation or force, assert dominance over the land above. Ambition, righteousness, and a desire to avenge perceived slights make him a credible and dangerous rival. He's not a mustache-twirling cartoon villain. He's the sort of leader who genuinely believes he is saving his people. Then there's David Kane, Black Manta, whose personal vendetta against Atlantis provides the film's human, ugly counterpoint to royal conflict. David's father dies in a catastrophic way that traces back to Atlantean interference, and David grows into a scavenger and treasure hunter with a grudge. When he finds a piece of Atlantean tech he thinks will reveal the king and his people, he gets obsessed. His single-minded quest brings grief to the surface world and personal stakes to Arthur's doorstep, and the movie uses Black Manta to remind us that war between the world above and below has very real, very messy consequences for everyday people. Vulko is Arthur's mentor, an Atlantean who believes Arthur is the rightful heir and funnels him toward the idea of destiny. He's the one who nudges Arthur away from small-town heroics and toward the larger responsibilities he's running from. Over the course of the story, the relationship between Arthur and Vulko is both paternal and practical. Vulko has a vision for a new ruler, and he keeps pushing Arthur until the stubborn kid either breaks or rises to the occasion. What makes Aquaman work as an adventure is the way it mixes personal stakes with spectacle. The film gives equal weight to Arthur's internal journey, learning to balance his two identities, and to the external quest. Retrieve the missing pieces of the trident of Atlan so Arthur can challenge Orm and prevent a catastrophic war. The trident itself is more than a fancy weapon. It's legitimacy for a king. Without it, Arthur isn't a leader in the eyes of his people. So Arthur, Mera, Vulko, and a ragtag crew go hunting for these legendary pieces, and their mission sends them to sunken ships, lost cities, and places in the deep that make you wonder if the ocean's plumbing is actually a portal to another universe. The film's set pieces are loud and proud: high-speed chases across the ocean's surface, submarine skirmishes, and huge underwater battles where armies of Atlanteans, sea creatures, and armored soldiers collide. The movie invests in creature design and world building. There are tribes with distinct aesthetics, warrior cultures with their own rules, and monstrous deep-sea predators called the Trench that are genuinely creepy. One memorable stretch has our heroes pursued and then swallowed by the abyssal horrors of the Trench, and it's a wild reminder that the ocean is vast and indifferent. The visuals are bold, and the action choreography keeps the 2-hour runtime moving. Along the way, Arthur grows. He learns to accept that being a leader doesn't mean abandoning who he is. It means using his unique position to bridge two worlds. He also learns that family is complicated. Atlanta made agonizing choices that hurt him. Orm sees him as a rival to be crushed, and Volko wants him to perform a role he feels unready for. Each choice Arthur makes highlights the central theme. Belonging isn't a place, it's what you choose to protect. There's a sequence where Arthur and Mera must retrieve a trident shard from a sunken shoebox of Atlantis's past. A place that feels like a museum for a civilization that refuses to be forgotten. They have to contend with pirates, booby traps, and a giant sea beast the size of a house. Instead of treating these moments as mere spectacle, the film uses them to forge relationships. Arthur proves himself in the little things. He thinks quickly. He risks himself for others. He shows mercy when it's hard. And Mera sees that the stubborn surface dweller has depth in more ways than one. Black Manta's arc collides with the hero's quest at multiple points. He's not a generic henchman. He has a DIY suit, a vendetta-driven intelligence, and a capacity for cruelty we don't often give to movie bad guys. He torches things, he pursues Arthur relentlessly, and he leaves real damage behind. His attacks make the conflict personal. This isn't just about crowns and prophecy, it's about people suffering. That helps the film keep stakes grounded amid the explosions and XSL CGI sea monsters. Politics runs through the story too. Orm's campaign to unite the seas isn't just macho bluster, it's a political movement with speeches, alliances, and a push to be recognized by rival kingdoms. Arthur is an outsider to that game, initially unwilling to play, but as events accelerate, it becomes clear there's an option other than bloodshed. Arthur can try to change the system from inside. The film makes the choice to have its hero fight for a different kind of leadership, one that accepts otherness rather than punishing it. The climax is a big, loud, emotional thunderdome of water. Armies clash, the sea comes up in geysers of CGI glory, and Arthur faces Orm in a duel for both the crown and the moral high ground. The final battle tests Arthur's combat skills, his command of ocean creatures, and his emotional maturity. There's a satisfying element to the way he finally claims the trident. It's not stolen by force, and it's not simply handed to him. He earns it by demonstrating what a leader should be: brave, selfless, and unafraid to stand between his people and ruin. Victory isn't simple. The film doesn't pretend every wound heals instantly, and the aftermath leaves room for new stories. Arthur's arc ends with him accepting responsibility. He becomes a symbol that two very different worlds can at least talk to one another. Mera stands by him as partner and queen. She's earned every beat of agency the script gives her. Volko's faith in Arthur is rewarded, and even some of the minor players get moments that pay off the journey. Black Manta doesn't get cleaned up in a neat bow. His grudge remains, which is satisfying in a story that values consequences. The movie also closes with the sense that Atlantis is changing. It isn't weathering catastrophe so much as entering a new era where a ruler from two worlds might finally make a difference. Stylistically, the film leans into humor and swagger. It knows it's a comic book movie and lets itself be a little goofy when the going gets tense. That's important, because when a film has as much visual spectacle as this one, you need small human beats to anchor it. There are tender moments: Arthur with his father, Arthur learning about his mother's sacrifices, and quiet exchanges with Mera that remind us why he's fighting. Those softer scenes give the big action a heartbeat, and that's what makes you care about the fate of an entire ocean. If you're watching for spectacle, the movie delivers. The underwater cityscapes, the design of Atlantean militaries, and the choreography of oceanic warfare are all eye candy. If you're watching for character, the heart of the story is Arthur's journey from driftwood to anchor. He learns to channel his anger and confusion into purpose. He forgives, or at least understands, the choices others made that hurt him. He learns leadership doesn't require an unblemished past. It requires a capacity to stand up for what's right. There are a few weaknesses worth mentioning. The pacing occasionally skips gears to make room for set pieces. and at times the emotional beats are telegraphed rather than earned. Some secondary characters could have been fleshed out more. Certain rulers and advisors flash in and out of the story with noble-sounding lines but little depth.